Please state your name for the record and then proceed with your testimony.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Stowe. I'm the Vice President of Government Relations for the Carpet and Rug Institute. And just like to thank the committee and the chair for letting us testify this evening. The Carpet and Rug Institute represents all of the carpet manufacturers in the United States. About 97% of the soft floor covering that you walk on in the United States is made in the United States. That's a fact we're very proud of. And as you've heard of several people mention, the industry has tried voluntarily and continues to work very diligently, putting a lot of money behind our efforts to recycle carpet, to divert it from the landfill. To that end, we worked with government, NGOs, and the industry and recyclers to form a group called CARE, the Carpet America Recovery Effort. You're going to hear from them shortly with more details about their work. Carpet manufacturers have invested millions of dollars into finding solutions for the challenge of reclamation and recycling carpet, and we continue to look for innovative and partnership solutions. Carpet is a very difficult product to recycle. It is not an A to A product. It's not like a bottle or a can. There are a lot of different components, and Dr. Bob Peoples will share some of the difficulties involved with recycling in his testimony. The industry continues to work with collectors and recyclers throughout the country to increase post-consumer recycling. We began a program in 2015 called the Voluntary Product Stewardship Program. That program provides grants to recyclers and entrepreneurs to help them with their business, to encourage recycling and reuse of the product. And we're trying to further stimulate carpet recycling efforts and increase market demand. You've heard a little bit about market demand. This legislation runs counter to market-driven solutions, which are the hallmark of our country, and it sets up a product stewardship framework that gives broad authority to your state agency, and it dictates, your agency would then dictate to companies how to design their products, and we are concerned with sustainability, and making sustainable choices is a good business choice. So the proposed funding for this program would be solely on the burden of manufacturers, and that burden would be passed down to the retailers, of which there are many in the state of Minnesota, and then along to the consumers. Consumers would see this cost increased on a daily basis as firms would be forced to shift cost onto consumers to account for this burdensome mandate. The fee, according to the bill, is not required to be a transparent fee, and the consumer wouldn't know that they were paying it, effectively becoming a hidden tax. Take-back programs also cost the consumer to collect their take-back products and transport them to a location. Excuse me. As you may be aware, several of the folks that have testified prior to us have mentioned the California bill. The California bill is really still a work in progress. It's very much experimental. The demographics of the state are very different than the demographics of this state. Bob will talk more about that. The bill here is very similar to the California legislation, and if Minnesota's hope is to promote similar program to California, I would ask that you seriously consider the demographics of the state in Minnesota and the issue of rural collection. The industry has exhibited a strong commitment to this issue and is working diligently to address the many issues facing the collectors, the sorters, and the recyclers. This program will take time to determine the optimal type of programs needed to solve the same challenges which Minnesota will surely face. And we have learned that just because you put money into something does not find solutions that do not exist. We are working to find solutions currently. The carpet industry, as I mentioned, is one of the last manufacturing industries that's left in the United States. Over the past several years, like other industries, it's suffered some declines. Sales are down and workforces have had to be reduced. This type of burden can be seen in California as well. With the increased fees on the front end of carpet, sales have gone down in that state. This burdens an industry that is already voluntarily working together to find solutions. This bill would not benefit the efforts to find meaningful solutions. Instead, it could potentially cost jobs and will absolutely increase the cost to the consumer. House File 2267 would only create more costs and burdens on an industry which is already struggling to survive. I respectfully ask you to reconsider this legislation. The carpet industry just recently became aware of this bill, and we feel that enactment of this legislation would only stymie the progress that we are making, cost jobs in the U.S., and won't lead to the best environmental solutions to the challenges that we currently face.
Thank you for your testimony.
Oh, it worked.